Welcome to another edition of Cooking with Santa Roger. And with me is my tremendous camera person, Mrs. Claus. Hi, Mrs. Claus.
Hi everybody, it's so good to be with you again today. I think Santa's got something really special in store for you. How many of you like chicken nuggets?
Yes, chicken nuggets. That's what we're cooking today. Yes, chicken nuggets. That's another thing that's very, very popular with the children and adults. And we're going to show you how to do chicken nuggets at home. Again, before we get started, Mrs. Claus, what's the first thing I should do?
You have to wash your hands.
I have to wash my hands. So I'll wash my hands. Just to get them all right. Then we'll add our soap. Okay. Then, oh, you better watch out. You better not shout. You better not shout. I'm telling you why. Santa Claus is coming to town. He sees you when you're sleeping. He knows when you're awake. He knows if you've been bad or good. So be good for goodness sakes. Okay, that's pretty good. We've got lots of good suds. And now we'll rinse off. And we are ready to go. Now, like we said, what do we need for chicken nuggets? Well, the first thing we need is a chicken breast. Now, depending upon the size of your family, you probably need about 2 chicken breasts. We'll just use one today. And then we're going to have equal amounts of seasoned flour, breadcrumbs, and an egg. And I'll show you how this works. So first of all, let's cut the chicken into about 10 pieces, more or less. So I'll just go 1. Again, you can make these any size that you want, depending on how small or big or how hungry your kids are. And I'll just put some like this, and some like this, and some like that, and a few like that. Now, what I like to do now is season them with just a little bit of pepper and a little bit of salt. And you can use anything, and what I have here is just some plain old seasoning salt. I just put a little seasoning salt on that. Okay, now the next thing we're going to do is we're just going to let these sit for about a couple of minutes. All right, and again, I'm touching chicken. Be sure I wash off my hands. All right, now next thing we do, we set up 3. Okay, in the very first one, we're going to put some of our flour in there, seasoned flour, and we'll put an egg. This egg, you just put just a little bit of water.
You already beat that egg up, didn't you?
Yes, this egg is all beaten up. Just whisk it up. And finally, just a few breadcrumbs. Now, you got several choices on breadcrumbs. You can just buy breadcrumbs. You can make your own breadcrumbs. All right, and this is really pretty simple. Now, what we're going to do now is dip the, you just go in the chicken, we go in the bread, coat it pretty well.
That's the flour, right?
That's the flour, and here's the egg, and here's the breadcrumbs. See, see, this is easy. You know, your kids could do this. Your kids could do this. And I'll demonstrate one more for you. And dip in the egg. And we'll put in the breadcrumbs. Okay, we'll be back in a minute. As you can see, we've completed with the chicken nuggets. Let's review what we did. All right, we start off with 1 chicken breast. And for you little people, you probably want the person that's helping you, they should probably, we want them to, because you're using a sharp knife, they can cut up the chunks. But now for the rest of this, you can do this yourself. So we had some flour, and you want to season the flour with some salt and pepper and maybe a little garlic salt or whatever you like. You really can't go wrong on that. And then the next thing you do is you take an egg and you mix it up and add just a little bit of water to it. Then finally you have some breadcrumbs, and you can either buy breadcrumbs or make your own breadcrumbs. Then you again put just a little salt, pepper, garlic, whatever you feel like doing with that.
Making your own breadcrumbs when you have a stale piece of bread or a heel that you don't want to eat, that's a good thing to make your breadcrumbs.
That would be a good thing to do. You could just put it in a blender, or you could just roll it up and put it in a Ziploc bag and just hammer it with a rolling pin or something like that for breadcrumbs. Okay, now another thing, the way we have this set up here with the flour, the egg, and the breading, this is the same thing that you would do if you're, let's say, catfish. If you're going to do catfish, you could do the same thing, except with your breadcrumbs. If you got catfish, you put in some cornmeal, or if you want to make some Wiener Schnitzel with pork or chicken, same thing. You put in the flour, and then you put it in the egg, and then you put it in the coatings, and then you let it sit. Now, I might add, what you could also do if you're making your own breadcrumbs, you don't have to stick to bread. I bet you could put like maybe 75 or 80% bread. You could probably put in some Fritos or some potato chips, or if you're not allergic to nuts, you can put in some walnuts or things like that, and then just grinding up. Okay, now that we have it set up like this, the next thing we're going to do, we're going to show you how to cook them. All right, I'm using an electric frying pan, and I've got this set for about 375. Now, if you do not have an electric frying pan, and if you have a stove at home, about medium high, and then the way you can tell, if you drop in a piece of bread, it should start to sizzle. Let's take a look. There, see it? Now the bubbles start coming on. All right, and that means, see, it's already getting brown. Okay, that means then that your oil is ready to go. Now, from now on, just very carefully, just you add the pieces. Over that sizzling. And the oil is going to cool down a little bit. We'll add these.
But it's still hot enough to
it's still hot enough.
Fry your fingers
Yes,
if you splash.
yes.
Don't want to splash.
No, you don't want to splash. And the advantage of electric frying pan is that it's a lot easier for the kids. It's a lot safer, but you still have to be careful because it's still very, very hot oil. And you put them in there. Now, if you have two breasts, you have two, then you just cook this in 2 batches. So we'll be back in a minute and take a look. All right, so they've been cooking about 3 or 4 minutes, and now we'll turn them over. Oh, look how nice and brown they are. Now the advantage is when you use warm grease, then they really don't soak up. So you're not, even though you're cooking them in grease, it's not as bad as it appears.
Actually, these are probably better chicken nuggets anyway because they're made out of real chicken instead of some of the stuff that they use at the restaurants, huh?
Now that's true. You know you're getting real chicken. Now, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but you know those chicken dinosaurs that kids like so well? I'm sorry, they're a processed chicken. I mean, they just take the chicken lips and grind it all up, and oh man. So, like I say, that's the advantage here. We are getting real chicken breasts, and those are starting to look pretty good. Now, there's 2 ways to tell if they're done. One, if you happen to have a meat thermometer, all you do is just take one like this, and we'll put it in the thermometer. And this says, let's take a look at it. 139, 145, 150, 153, 57, 60. Okay, 165, that's when they're done. So I think most of these are pretty well done. Now, if you don't have a meat thermometer, then all you have to do is just cut one of them in half, and you hold it up, and you see, oh, look how juicy that is. See how juicy that is? And it's cooked all the way through. So I think these are done. So we'll turn off the heat, and let's serve these up. Hey, look at this. And I can put them on here for it to drain. Oh, don't those look good? Don't those look good? I bet they taste even better. All right. Chicken nuggets. Now, the other thing that makes chicken nuggets so good is the sauce you put on them. Now, we gotta let them just cool just a little bit so that they, you don't burn yourself. But here what I did, I just have some homemade honey, basically it's just honey and mustard. Now, you could use any type of dip you want. You could use ranch dip, you could use a barbecue, or be creative. You can mix maybe some orange juice with some barbecue sauce. Anything you want to, just be creative.
Or Mexican chilies.
If you like them hot, yes, Mexican chipotle, that would work good. In fact, what I'll do at the end of this video, I'll list several different sauces and the recipes for those sauces. Well, Mrs. Claus, let's try one. All right, I'll give an honest opinion. Another success. Another success. Wow. That's what we're talking about mouthful. Okay. Thank you for watching today's class on chicken nuggets. So you little guys, little gals, you see, you can do this yourself, except, you know, let the person that's helping you cut up the chicken and be very, very careful around this hot oil. But this is something that any person can do, and they really make a good snack. And what you can do if you're in a good mood, if you have chicken breasts on sale, hey, you can cook 3 or 4 up, and then just freeze them. Then when you want a snack, you can just take them right out of the freezer, put them in a toaster, things, something like that. Excuse me. They make a very, very good snack. Okay, now, what I told you last time is that my elves are always looking around. And today's shout out goes to Cameron. Oh, Cameron's been such a good girl, and she really helped whenever she goes to her grandma's house. She really, really helps her grandmother, and she's just been a very big help. So congratulations, Cameron, for being such a good girl. And remember, Mrs. Claus keeps my nice list. And guess what? Mrs. Claus, do you do the nice list just in December?
Of course not. We have to watch children all year round.
All right, so remember, we're watching you, and be very, very good. And again, thank you for watching this show. And let's see, we don't have any dessert, do we? You know what? Next time, are we going to have a thrill? Now, this will be a challenge, but we're going to make donuts. See you later.